Hey, it's Jason ODB, the Lincoln Addict, and I'm going to go over a quick document to talk about the 64 through 66 steering column repair in the event this will help you out. This ties directly into the video that I did recently talking about the steering column in the 60s Lincolns. I would ask if you want to support, you can go out to our website, lincolnaddict.com. You can select info on how to listen to the podcast. You can also pick up, we have the white and blue stickers. We also have, you get two for a little bit better deal if you buy more than one. We have the shirts available and they'll ship the next business day. So when I went over this, a couple of people chimed in and they said, well, the original piece, that's all that you really need. And I showed that in one of the photos, right? So I had purchased one of these pieces from Lincoln Land, and we ended up going the different route and using what I'll call the Nathan Wilson method. Tony has used it several times. I'm not going to go over this entire document because I think, in my personal opinion, where it says easy steps for lower steering column bushing replacement, when you read through this, to me, it seems more difficult than taking the steering column out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hover here so you can take a screenshot if you need to. You can bump it up to 4K. I do record in 4K, and you can take a screenshot as needed. But basically, someone could chime in here. My understanding was, I thought it was like most of the Lincolns, including the 1s, 2s, and 3s, so 61, 2, and 3. According to this document, which came with the 65 car I purchased, it mentions the typical symptoms, things I've talked about: the car slipping out of park, having to pull up on the shift lever to start the car, shift linkage sloppy, turn signals do not cancel on right turns, 65, 66 only, up and down movement in the steering wheel independent of the column, steering column will not slide over, sloppy or loose shift arm or actuator. So it talks a little bit about A, B, and C, problems associated with worn or missing lower steering column bushing. D and E occur in 65, 66 Thunderbirds due to the upper steering shaft bearing support sleeve. The support sleeve is a rubber bushing that gives support and stability to the upper steering shaft bearing. Talks about here F and G. But the reason why I wanted to cover this is it talks about in here basically this piece, and again, I showed that in the video, it disintegrates over time, right? And that's what causes that sloppiness in the steering column. Now, again, if you decide that you're gonna, repair yours or have someone repair, you can buy this item here from what we call the usual suspects, so called Lincoln Land, and they'll sell you that bushing. That bushing can go in there, and that is more of kind of the factory fix, so to speak, right? Here, I wanted to kind of show you where it says, let me see, right here. The original steering column bushing is plastic and eventually disintegrates, causing the shift tube to lose its support. The bushing supports the shift tube relative to the steering column and prevents it from moving in any fashion other than what it's designed to do. When the bushing fails, the shift tube can flop around inside the steering column, causing other problems. Okay, so the reason why I would suggest that you go with the newer style method with a collar, it is cheaper, and in Tony's car as well as my blue car, it has worked fantastic. Okay, now you can imagine these pieces are probably made with better components, you would hope, right? 60 years later. But if you think about it, if what we just read here, and we know it happens, if this disintegrates over time, why would you want to put something very similar in if you could use the coupler, which you can get like at Tractor Supply, right? As an example. So again, this is just to help you guys out. Feel free to take a screenshot. If you've never seen this document, you can, if you wanted to, attempt what they're saying here. To me, it seems like a lot of work versus just dropping the steering column, but I do realize not everybody has the same mechanical abilities, or depending on where you live in the country, you may not have someone that's willing to do this type of work. So totally get it. And this is going to be hopefully to help you out. So I'll also kind of come in here a little bit closer, and you can just kind of read through what it's saying here. Now, I read through it and I was like, that's a lot of work. But Tony and I have worked on these cars a good bit. We've got Blair and Teresa. They've taught us a lot of stuff. Lincoln Land's great. Kelly and Herb over at Old Lincoln Parts. All of that, those guys are right here in the Tampa Bay area. We've learned a lot from them, and we're very thankful for them. This is not an easy job, so to speak, unless you kind of work on this stuff every day. So check it out. I'll put a link in the description to the other video. And again, LincolnAddict.com. You can pick up the stickers, 1 for $5, 2 for $7.50. I'll ship those out the next business day. We also have shirts with a decent amount of sizes still left. So stay on the rise. Happy Independence Day, 4th of July. We out of here. Peace.